What's going on with you right now? But are you in Houston?
Man, in Houston, getting ready to go to Des Moines, Iowa.
Ooh, yeah, comedy mecca. Yeah,
It's funny, man. Being on tour right now, doing theaters, and I'm kind of toning down, taking July off. So they asked me, did I want to stop in and do this club just to build the market because I don't be in Des Moines.
sure,
So
sure, yeah.
I said, cool. And then they called me and said, well, ticket sales are low. Hey man, I just played 5,000 people in a weekend, man. I sold out both my shows, man. Don't call me about a club. Talking about tickets are low. I don't. My self esteem is high.
Oh, dude, it's crazy to see how fast since I've met you and how fast your career has just taken off, man. And it's like to see you go into theaters, it makes perfect sense, dude. You're arguably one of the best storytellers I think working today. So it's like, it's all well deserved.
Oh man, thank you, man. 26 years of grinding it out, and it's weird. And I don't think it is. I think that it's just normal for people to timestamp you from wherever they met you at.
Hmm.
So by the time you met me, I've been doing it for about 15 years.
That's
And
crazy.
and then, now it's, 11 years later, this guy who met me, I think he met me maybe 4 years ago. He's like, yo, man, it's crazy, man. I just met you and now you're everywhere. Man, how does it feel to just start and just start? No, I didn't just start. No, no. When you started when I met you at this, you was playing this like this little open mic. I was coming, man. I just stopped in there. Like I wasn't playing. That wasn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't have time to even explain it, man. So yeah, it's a great ride, man. It's a comic's dream to get to a plateau where they selling tickets and people coming to see them, and they developing the cachet that they want, and hopefully it lasts forever. Like you get to this point, you can just kind of coast for the rest of just do
I
shows for
know.
the rest of your life.
Just don't fucking say anything sideways, dude. Don't
Man,
fucking
don't
get
say
yourself
nothing.
cancelable.
I don't.
That's all you got
I
to
don't even.
do.
I don't even think they can cancel you no more. It's too much out there. No, they're like,
You're
well,
not wrong.
you don't. Man, they tried to cancel Louis C.K. and he won 3 Grammys
Sure.
while he was
Well,
catching.
yeah, he had a couple years where he was gone. A couple years where he had to like lay low and stuff, and like you can't find
He
Louis
won.
on any streaming service. But yes, 100%.
He had, he had won a Grammy that year.
Yeah,
Look it up. The
sure.
year the year that he was supposed to be gone and canceled, he won a Grammy.
Yeah,
I was like,
you're
what?
not wrong.
I'm like, is it canceled or not canceled? I thought this. I thought this was my shot. Like when the Rockets beat the Bulls, Jordan
Yeah,
has retired.
yeah, yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
can win now.
Oh wait, shit. Wait, he's back. Oh fuck, he's back. God damn,
Damn
this
it, he's
motherfucker
back.
back. He's gonna win awards again. Um, well, dude, like I said, dude, it's all well deserved, and even if it takes 25 years or fucking 30 years to get to where you're at, like, man,
Yeah,
just
man.
just enjoy that wave and enjoy it because I know your story, and so it's never been, it's we all have things that we have to overcome, and it's like what I love is that you've been able to take all of that shit and put that into your art, and that's what people are connecting with, and that's beautiful, man. Most people don't get to do that.
Man, thank you. If you got a music contract right now,
Yeah.
would you stop doing stand up?
I don't know, man. I'm here's what's cool is that I just went out and bought like, $5,000 or $6,000 worth of musical equipment. And so now I'm like, I've just got like this little studio right here where I've got a drum machine and this keyboard and I've got a looper and I'm just making music on my own. But it's like to do it in my act regard, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna utilize this somehow. So the idea of what you're saying is like, if I got the contract, would I quit? Um, you know, no, no, but I would make an album though. I would try. I would just like, if it doesn't take too much time out of this, but I also get to do both things right now regardless. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I don't have
Man,
to. Yeah, so it's like I'm already getting the best of both worlds.
if I if somebody came to me and say, "Hey, we gonna give you a restaurant right now," I'm done. If somebody came and gave me a farm, because I've been trying to buy land of just grow food,
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. I think I'm coming around the corner to other interests. like, yeah, what does Ali do? He grows peaches. One of the
Motherfucker
most,
got a pistachio farm. What
one of the most
the?
amazing peaches. Yeah, hey man, like and I feel like, and let me tell you why I feel like overwhelmed by it now. I was at the Tom Brady roast,
Yeah,
and Drew Bledsoe seemed so at peace selling wine. Like it just seemed like he was drinking his wine, he was selling it, he was giving it away. I was like, you know something? Yeah.
you
If
can
I
do it.
had if
You
I
can
if I had a successful fig farm, I would sell fig. I was like,
peaches
I'm
and
done.
figs.
Peaches and fig.
It's like that's like a 112 B side. Peaches and figs. Peaches and figs. Mm. Um, I hope you get that. I hope you get that property. I hope you get the farm. You will, without a doubt. That being said, that being said, we're here today to talk about arguably one of the most important artists in the history of music of our lifetimes. But also, which I think is so perfect that we're talking about it, we're talking about the monumental record today that I think is what made Prince Prince and separated him from all the other black artists, the Rick James, all the guys that he was kind of being lumped with. This is his groundbreaking record. So before we even start talking about that album, I want to ask you: you grew up in Houston. Like, what is your relationship with Prince? Like, when did you first hear him, and how did he come into your existence?
Purple Rain.
Yeah,
That's first. And before that, I'm gonna say I had no clue who he was. I just knew my dad was talking about some guy who had on a raincoat and some bikini underwear. I was-
that sounds
and
right.
and then and I know my dad like, oh, what he said, the motherfucker trying to sound like Rick James. That was his thing. That was his thing because all of them was Rick James fans, heavy, and so Prince and even Rick James, him and Rick James fell out about him um mimicking him. So they had a real like disdain for him at first, and then they came around later. Cause Purple Rain was crazy. I was 10, I think, like 10 or 11. Purple Rain came out.
Yeah. And what do you remember like about loving that? Did you see the reaction that people got from it, or was it like
Man,
did you really
vanity,
gravitate towards it?
vanity. Hey, what you mean? I didn't care about what no people looking at, man. Vanity was on there.
Yeah.
Prince had a cool motorcycle, and he was, man, he get your body dipped in Lake Minnetonka. Like Purple Rain was sick. Purple Rain was sick. It was so anti Michael Jackson. It was like Mike was clean and Prince was like, it was, yeah, man. Prince was cool. Prince was cool as
Yeah.
hell.
What you saying about it's the anti Michael Jackson. It's funny that when I was in first or second grade, I remember you know at the book fair or something. I somehow got a Prince button, like a little button lapel thing to put on, and I remember people were like, "Oh man, like you like Prince, like we're Michael Jackson fans," and I'm like, and in retrospect now, it's like they're nothing alike at all. Like
Nothing,
whereas Mike
nothing like.
where Michael Jackson was, heal the world, I'm the man in the mirror, we can change it. Like, and Prince is like, I'm gonna fuck the world. Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna lick the nipple of
little
of
red Corvette. I'm talking
yeah.
about. Prince was man. It was a big thing with Prince, and he was the first artist that I knew that had a color. Like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson didn't have no color.
No, you didn't.
Prince was like purple. You a Prince fan, you rock purple. You was like Prince cold, man.
Dude, I'm
Prince
wearing
was
purple today for that. This is a shirt I
already.
got. I got this shit at a thrift store 20, god damn, almost 20 years ago. I just held on to that. But yeah, purple, and what a different color to go with. Do you know what I
Yep.
mean? Purple is
Out
not
of
easy
everything.
to,
It was like, yeah.
yeah, it's not easy to match. Um, what I love about him, and it's all new. My relationship with Prince is really only, like, of course I knew the hits. um, but about a few years ago, I was doing Acme in Minnesota for the weekend, and Jenny Zagrino and we went to Paisley Park, which is where he lived.
Hmm.
And you go into this fucking place, and this is his house, but it's like, now, the bottom floor and the studios and all that stuff is open to the public. And we go in, and they tell you the history, and you see everything, and every single little fact that they kept telling, like his shoe room, you go in, there's like 1,000 little feet shoes. And then you go into the studio, and you're like, this recorded here and this recorded here, and he did all of his records here. And then you go into, like, he's got basically a production studio where people would rent it out and shoot music videos, and he could put on these huge concerts for people. And then he also had this little cafe that he'd put on concerts for. And what really made me the fan of, to really dig in and go, oh, this guy is a legend, was in that cafe, or just at his place, he would put out a tweet saying tonight, 11 o'clock, Paisley Park, I'm doing a show, free show, whoever shows up shows up. He'd leave it up on Twitter for 5 minutes, and then he'd pull it down, and then whoever showed up, and it could be 2,000 people, or it could be 5 people. But either way, he was giving them the exact same show. And they were saying that there were nights that 7 to 10 people would show up, and he would put on a 3-hour concert like he was playing the Forum. And
Wow.
that, to me, was like the most incredible. I thought that was the coolest thing that any artist could ever do. I was like, that's a true artist. It's a guy that loves making the music. And it also, like, you know, like you said, the purple, like, I bought all the merch you could get from Paisley Park, bro. I've got an umbrella that when it rains, the umbrella turns purple, which is,
Wow.
yeah, dude. And then, and it's just, I was lucky enough, like, dude, it's years before I went to, when he did that run of shows at the Forum. He did like 30 shows at the Forum. Um, I My cousin was a producer for the George Lopez show, and he announced the tour on the Lopez show. And so we went to that taping that day. He did like 5 songs. I was probably 15 feet from him, and it was just incredible. And it's like, I didn't get to see those Forum shows, and I really, besides that, was the only chance I ever got to see him live. But it's like, it took me going to Paisley Park, fucking, almost 10 years later, for me to, like, go, oh, this guy is the legend. This guy is it. And this record we're talking about today, Dirty Mind, is the album that changed everything for him. So here, let me do a little backstory on this. So the son of 2 jazz musicians, Prince Rogers Nelson was born in 1958 and raised in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where he became a multi-instrumental prodigy and made a name for himself as something of a local legend. He got signed to Warner Brothers at the age of 19 and made 2 records that showed off his many talents and early genius, with music that was not dissimilar to the type of dance songs and R&B slow jams that other Black artists were making at the time. Although those 2 self-produced and completely self-performed records put him on the musical map, it is safe to say that without this 3rd album, Dirty Minds, Prince may have just been a momentary successful footnote at the end of the disco era. And like you mentioned, Rick James, after a tour opening for Rick James, who, like we said, was probably his closest contemporary competition at this point, Prince went into the 16-track home studio in his basement and recorded this raw, minimal, energetic, genre bending affair that's equal parts dirty funk, clean wave, and punk as fuck, dude. It's really it's as ungenreable. Despite his absolute control of the ideas and playing and the ability to sing effortlessly, including his shifts between soft and sultry or screaming falsetto, some of the songs sound like Rush demos, which they basically were. And he did everything on this record. This is the thing that because this is basically a vivid, funky, like X-rated masterpiece, in my opinion. And I first time I listened to this one way all the way through on a drive, and I was like, oh, it's yeah, this is good. And then I just spent the morning like listening to it, reading the lyrics. I mean, this is this is a fucking this is Prince. He is setting the blueprint for the rest of his career. He's flirting with controversial topics. He's taunting with fluid sexuality and pleading desire uh, for a more perfect and accepting world. And besides, like, you know, besides like his previous two albums, almost everything on here is him. Everything on here is him. Even he depicting a full band on the record's inner sleeve. You know, it's like the band's not even in the fucking album. He just put a band there for no reason. Like he's like, because that's how boss this dude is. Um, Prince also, so he put out such an album so racy that promotional copies sent to radio stations warned program directors to audition the songs before putting them on the air. Uh, it's the kind of album that record companies sent back when an artist delivers it. But Prince had a special deal with the label Warner Brothers, giving him total freedom. So they had to issue whatever he devised. This leads me to want to ask you is like, when did you realize that you had the freedom of your career?
um, After I realized that I didn't actually work for the agencies and I didn't work for my management.
Yeah.
They all work for me.
Yeah.
And something clicked and like, hey man, you have total control over what you say and what you do. If people don't want to work with you, then they don't want to work with you. But other than that, you can do what you want to do. So I kind of, and then the nail in the coffin was Bill Bellamy told me that I should go where I'm celebrated and not where I'm tolerated. And that kind of like opened the door for me. Like, man,
Yeah.
I don't have to be a part of these groups or these cliques or the industry or nothing. Comedy is an individual sport. It's a gladiator sport. You know, it's a gladiator craft. So that's where, you know, I kind of found my own lane. And said, man, I'm just gonna do things the way that I want to do it.
Yeah. So is that so? Where do you? Because this is actually it's going to lead me into "Dirty Mind," which basically the album's title song is like the mission statement. It's delivered over a throbbing, almost krautrock rhythm track based around a keyboard idea composed of early bandmate and future Revolution keyboardist Matt Fink. The album is a mission statement. So basically, when did you first develop your unique mind and comedy voice?
2008. 2008. Um, what happened in 2008? 2008, DL, me and DL was having a conversation, and he told me the funniest I was gonna ever be in life was based upon how honest I wanted to be. So that's when I stopped writing jokes and started writing experiences that I already had in my particular life. So yeah, 2008. That was a turning point for me.
And in 2008, like what was it before that? Was it just you were
It's regular. I'm a regular stand up, just doing, you know, reading the paper, writing stuff that I read, writing off stuff that I read.
yeah,
Um, still basically stealing from journalists. Basically, basically,
sure.
you know, stealing from news and the movies and and we call that, that's social commentary, man. It's basically somebody
Yeah.
coming. A man in Milwaukee was found dead with a dog in the car. Man, what was that dog doing? Now I'm on that type, So in I was very observational, at the time, just whatever was going on in the world, which made me normal, which made me regular.
So
That's what
what's
it.
your so your pivotal moment, if you had to say this is your dirty mind moment, this is where Ali Siddiq became Ali Siddiq of today. When that was in '08, that's when that
Oh,
shifted.
2008, 2008, and that's right. I did Def Jam that year, and that was one of the accomplishments. I was the season finale on Def Jam, and I was like, "Yo, man, I'm just gonna do it my way," because I made it to what I felt was the pinnacle of stand up, was to make it on Def Jam. You
Yeah.
know, you on HBO. Now you're on HBO, and now they'll see you, and in
Yeah.
comics, we have. I say this all the time. We have a lot of step moments. It's not one thing with us. It's everything is a tier up. You was on one plateau, then you move to another one, then you move to another. It's in my career, it's multiple things. It could be
Yeah.
I say 2008. Somebody else would say 2011. Or somebody else say, hey, well, I say 2013 when you won last comic. When you won the Comedy Central's comic to watch. But then a lot of people will say the pivotal moment was Ari Shafir's.
Yeah, I was gonna say that to me is where that's where I found out about you,
Yeah,
and I mean that's got millions of views. Same thing
yeah,
with Big J Okerson too. That's another person that really that Ari fucking that helped Miss Pat. Same thing, dude. You know
yeah,
what I mean? This where that storytelling show really made the change.
yeah, and the fact that we were already polished about time we got there. That we was able to tell a story. That was why I picked that show, because it suited what I did. They was trying to put me on Adam Devine's
House
break,
party.
yeah, house party, and I was like, nah, I don't think that would serve me well.
I
And
can
it
imagine you sitting down, all those rowdy frat kids, and you're like, let me tell y'all a
yeah,
story.
yeah, and I would have hated it. I'd have like, I don't like it because it wouldn't have matched anything. I wouldn't have saw any type of step up from that. So,
Yeah.
and it's basically making good decisions. It was other shows that I could have been on that I was like, nah, I'm gonna take Ari's show. That was a show because
Smart.
it was a good decision. Big shout out to Chase DeRusso bringing that show to my attention and saying,
Chase.
man,
Well, yeah, love Shazay Duraswa. Love
yeah,
Chase
shout out to
Duraswa,
Squad.
dude.
Yes, man.
That's my
That,
dude. He has more energy than I have, and like
that's a
that's a
that's a
lot. He
that's a
is the
Houston
man.
guy. That's a
Yeah,
Houston guy.
dude. And
Yeah,
what I love about Houston too, man, is that y'all stick together. Like
we
y'all
do.
really stick together, and there is a scene of great comedians that have come out of Houston. I mean, even the way that like Travis Scott represents it, like it's
Yeah,
what is so special about Houston? Why do you guys fucking rep it the way that you do?
man. We the home of the independent, man. We people think that oh man, you doing the independent. Well, that's the mantra of my city. All of us, all our R&B artists, all our rap artists, all of our actors. It's you coming out of a place with no industry, so you have to make the scene for yourself. So in
Yeah,
making the scene, you find other people that's willing to cultivate that scene, and so you like I really have. we not like other people, man. Like whether it's Chase, whether it's Matt, whether it's Trevino, whether it's Michael Yo, whether it's Bryson Brown, Thea Vidal, Rushion McDonald,
Wow.
uh,
All great comics.
Marcus D. Wiley, um, man, we Sam Kennison, Bill Hicks, we just we rep each other. Des White, Billy D. Washington, Billy Sorrells, we rep each other so hard because we already really have, so I'ma always shout out, Keisha Hunt and Rodney Bigham and, Blame and um people don't know BT Kingsley is a Houston cat. You
Is
know what
he
I'm saying?
really?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
That's a Houston guy. You know, and man, we really just got a lot of love for each other and respect. Even when we don't like one another, we still respect the scene too much to put that in the forefront of what we trying to do because
Yeah.
we get looked over. We have the secret group, and then you got say you have cats like this that's from Houston. So it was a show on Showtime called Flatbush Misdemeanor.
Oh yeah, Kevin Iso. That's my
Kevin
buddy.
Ice, Kevin Iso, that's a Houston cat. You know what I'm saying? Then you have on Trevor Noah, you have Ashton Womack, one of the writers, Houston cat. So we know what each other are doing. We support each other. We support each other's projects. I watched the show, The Winning Time, with about the Lakers, right?
Yeah,
Robert Glasper was the music director.
he's from
Houston,
Houston. Oh
Houston cat.
wow. Yeah.
You know, I remember when Chris Brown he won the Grammy last year, best artist, and Chris Brown like who is Robert Glasper? We was like, what you mean who is Robert Glasper? I was like, what you mean who is Robert Glasper? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he won the Grammy. That's who he is. Hell,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So we don't really let you say nothing about Beyonce and Scarface and the Ghetto Boys, and we rep our artists and Lizzo, and
Bun B, dude. Bun
yeah,
B. That's my
Bun,
buddy, Bun B, dude. Bun's
Bun,
Bun's a friend.
Pow,
Yeah.
yeah, Chameleonaire, Beat King, Slim Thug, Zero, Kiki, we
Yeah.
represent Megan the Stallion, we these are
Yeah.
our people, so we
I
have a
think you know
lot.
what. Let me say this, and before we move on to the next song, is that like after you just hearing that about Houston, it's out of all the places in Texas, it feels like Houston is the one that really gives a shit about itself and its heritage. You know what I mean? More than, I mean, Dallas is Dallas and they're whatever, but in Austin's like this, is more like the progressive part of the state. But Houston has a fucking stamp that they're like, no, dude, we represent this place. We've been through it. Just everything you said. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. It really is.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
leads to
man.
the next song. Good.
Joe Samples is from here. That's one
No
of the
shit.
greatest piano players of all time. And you'll watch a movie like a lot of not Thea Vidal, but what's my girl name? Isaiah Washington from Houston too. It's a guy that's in this show, The Bear. He's from South Park. He's from Houston, and we and we it, man, what is my girl name? I'll think of it. Go ahead to the next song. I'll think of when it
I,
comes
well,
up.
that's funny that we're talking about you how Houston is yours. It's like the song is "When You Were Mine." Jared, can you play the music or no? Can you or are we like we just can't? Fuck. All right. Well, here, just I'm gonna just shout out the time codes and Adam just put them in for me. So play minute 2:35. What I love about this song is that it's I don't know one of the first records Ali we did on this podcast, which I did with Big J Okerson, was "She's So Unusual" by Cyndi Lauper. And this is one of the songs that was on that. Although the subject matter of being taken advantage of and even cuckolded by a lover is pretty heavy, this pop rock song sounds like a modernized girl group. Great song, but I want to move on to Do It All Night. And then Adam, play 1 minute 55. All right. So this bouncy tribute to Prince's sexuality only hints at what's to come later on side 2 when it gets freaky. It's still safe enough to not be too overt. Now, this is a question I'm very interested about. It's a little off subject, but in the record, you know, when you were in prison, when you were
Hmm.
in prison, like did you guys have the ability to listen to music?
Radio,
So
just
all you
whatever.
had was a radio.
Yeah, the radio that and whatever station you could get in that area. You know, they don't really put you in like modern areas that have like upbeat radio, so you had to catch something. So I kind of came up listening to the Tom Joyner show,
Oh
and
yeah.
whatever music came on there. It depends on what area I was in, and him being syndicated, you would get him a lot of places, but it wasn't a urban radio station in Amarillo, Texas. So you
Oh God.
you just listen to like the Sunny 99 and
Oh
realize that
God.
Celine Dion is not all that bad. You
Celine Dion rule, dude. I no bull. That's hilarious that you brought her up, dude. Yesterday, she's in this new documentary about her, and like
Yes.
she can't sing or she's had this disorder. And I was watching the documentary on the trailer for it on my phone, and I got choked up. I fucks with Celine, and if you're in jail, I mean that's all by myself. You're like,
Man,
yeah, really,
Celine
she
Celine
talking to
Dion
me.
was Celine Dion was hot. That's how I got into Tony Braxton. Tony Braxton. I'm an R&B guy anyway, but then when you locked up and you work in the front office, I'm in the front office and they listening to like a Sunny 99, which is the top 40 station. So you like you would be amazed how huge uh REM fan I am. Staying
REM.
Yeah, staying in the place that you are now, like in Nirvana and these like if you had to pick it, you do not realize that how big of a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan I am. Like,
I Out of all those bands that you just mentioned, Red Hot Chili Peppers would be the one that I would be like, oh, I could see you digging on them. REM, I didn't know, but black people
man,
love Red Hot Chili Peppers.
man, man, listen. I found out in being incarcerated and you not having a lot of musical choices. I really just like music. Yeah, because I went back to my early days of just listening to music. I grew up on Duran Duran and Boy
Yeah,
George and all
yeah,
this pop music and Cyndi Lauper and all this. Like I just went back to listening to all the music because I'm a music guy. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
my favorite genre is still the blues. So man, I love blues. Like
Blues rules. Slow
I'm
blues, there's nothing better. There is nothing better
ah.
than slow blues. That Albert King guitar, that
Oh, but do you
fucking
know
BB.
that's my favorite. That's my favorite blues artist,
Albert King, yeah,
Albert
dude.
King.
Yeah,
My
we
favorite blues
we
artist.
did one of his records early on in the podcast, and it's definitely I have a playlist that I've been adding songs to for every record from the podcast, and it's like I was so hard to pick one because it's this he's blues is a muse. I mean, that's the basis of all rock and roll, all the stuff that we were talking about, hip hop, everything. It all comes from there. Um, and it's this beautiful American art form. It is American, and that's why
Greatest,
I fucking love it. It's baseball.
greatest spinoff from Albert King, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, dude. That's a Houston guy, right?
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah, it's a Houston guy.
Man, Albert King is a bad man.
Bad man.
If I didn't have bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck, and I was born on the bad side.
Yep. Yep.
Man, I love blues.
Let me ask you a question. Did you when you so you're talking about this radio in the penitentiary? Did you guys was there fighting over what to listen to? Or was everybody just
Oh, you
like the
got your
biggest
own.
guy?
You got your own radio.
Oh, you do? Oh, I thought it was
You
like
have your
I
own.
thought you had
Nah,
one radio in the common area.
nah. It's your own radio. People romanticize about prison and vilify like all the time. And I laugh more about how people because Hollywood has influenced things so much. And and
Yeah, dude, it has.
I'm talking about watch this. Let me tell you how huge Hollywood's influence is on prison. Okay,
Tell me.
people would actually ask this question: were you funny in jail to keep people off? Because Richard Pryor said Richard Pryor was never in prison. I know you watched House Party, but I get it. He was.
I
It's just,
know. It's
it's like that line in House Party has superseded everybody's reality of this man never went to prison. I no matter he went to jail, but he went to jail for like 24 hours. He was not and then
yeah,
he made a movie. He made a movie in prison with Gene Wilder.
stir
It was
crazy. Was stir crazy? Was it stir crazy or no? Was it
no, that's
what
not
was
so crazy. It's him and Gene Wilder when they was in they actually was crazy. The scene that they was in prison, they shot that at this prison called the Walls in Texas, in Huntsville, Texas. I was on the Walls, so that was nostalgic
I
to
love
me.
that. Oh, that's great.
And
It's a cute connection for you.
yeah, cause they used to have
You gotta find anything you can get, dude. You get when you're in prison, you gotta be like, this the same one that John Kruk
uh,
went to when he got his DUI charges? No
uh,
shit. You
nah,
feel good about it?
oh no, you know the dude who did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in yeah right there. That's the Walls.
No shit.
Yeah, that's the Walls unit.
It's still to this day such an it's I mean they made millions of dollars together, but such an odd pairing of like probably outside. But so you take away comedy and you just put two motherfuckers next to each other talking about like what they did earlier in the day, and Gene Wilder and Richard probably had fucking miles apart. you know,
Nah, they probably was both doing cocaine.
you think Gene did coke?
I don't believe Gene didn't do no coke. You think, man? I thought, man. Let me tell you something. Hollywood, everybody was on coke.
Sure.
That and
Okay.
back then, I think everybody in Hollywood on coke now.
Sure. No, you're not
I
wrong.
think Hollywood and coke like goes together. Like everybody who I've ever known to move to Hollywood end up doing coke. They taste it like coke, crack and coke is different, but I think Hollywood, not California, Hollywood. And I think a lot of people don't distinguish the difference between California, Los Angeles, California, Compton, California, Inglewood,
Yeah.
Pasadena from Hollywood.
Yeah.
They think that
Hollywood's a different breed.
yeah, they think that it's all Hollywood. No, it's really not. But they on coke though. The girl who work at the In-N-Out Burger, she's not on coke. But the girl who is trying to be an actress and work at the BJ's, she's definitely on coke.
For sure, dude. For sure. Oh man. No, you're not wrong. You are not wrong.
Yeah.
All right. Let's dive into let's I want to get to Uptown, but let me mention gotta where are we? Uh got a broken heart again. This is probably the most beautiful song on the record. If you haven't listened to it, I'd say Peter, play the intro. This is gorgeous. It's building blocks for R&B and rock and roll. The subject matter is pretty straightforward. It's probably the prettiest song on the record. Uptown. This is the hit. This just gives you an idea. I want to play this part, but play 228, Peter. This lyric gets me. It says, as soon as we got there, good times were rolling. White, black, Puerto Rican, everybody was a freaking. This is the first single from the album. It's an ode to the Uptown Commercial District in southwestern Minneapolis, which is known for its retail stores, nightlife, and cultural events. It's also a tribute to the sort of people Prince considered his friends and contemporaries who were accepting of alternate lifestyles in all races and ethnicities. To make his point, the story begins with a girl who sees him on the street and asks if he's gay. After he turns the question around on her, he eventually brings her uptown for her to see outside of her narrow-minded downtown view. And the line, know where I come from. We don't let society tell us how it's supposed to be. Our clothes, our hair, we don't care. It's all about being there. And to top it off, after all of that, in the song, he has sex with her. So before I ask you the questions, I want to say, it's like, is that one of the things that I think when it comes to Prince is that, you would look at this guy, the way he dresses, the way he sings, as being almost like, it's almost like, if you go to like a pride festival, the outfits he's wearing in some of the shit you see in this with this album is like what they would be wearing there, what a gay man would wear. What is it still that makes Prince, who obviously is in touch with his feminine side, but there's still a masculine thing about him. What makes him more masculine to all of us, where it's, where you have guys that might be homophobic, be accepting of someone like Prince?
Was Prince gay?
I don't think no, he loved women. He did love women. I mean,
We
was he
never,
bisexual? I don't know. I mean, there's no like,
we never. But well, at least I've never thought of Prince as bisexual. I've never thought of Prince as gay. I thought as Prince as being Prince because he messed with every bad chick. Had to go to religion after they left him. Like whatever
yeah.
he was doing to them, like
He fucked you so good, you gotta go to
man,
God.
like every all I heard was I was with Prince and now I am a Jehovah's Witness. So, I I need to dip myself in Lake Minnetonka after I
Clean
finish here.
myself of the
Like
sins.
like I didn't I just thought that he was, but I grew up in this era. See, I'm 1973. So I grew up watching men wear slacks and silks and the disco era, and they wasn't gay. Like I didn't think that. I don't think that clothes and outfits make you one thing because I didn't grow up there. If you, so if put it like this, if that made you gay, then every single black group that I watched on Soul Train and every album my daddy had. Did you see have you ever looked at a Commodore's album cover? And I'm like, they got on tied up blouses. Like,
Yeah, I know.
like the Barcades is there, Confunction, Brick,
Yeah,
Sly
yeah.
and the Family Stone. Man, you look at these fits. Man, hey, bro. I don't think that they was allowed to even button their shirt above their navel back then.
You ain't lying, dude.
Like,
You ain't lying. The 70s had a deep V. A
hey man,
deep
a
V.
deep V. Do you understand? I saw my uncle, which is one of the toughest people I know, and with him and Rosalind, his girlfriend, man, they was getting ready to go out. My uncle had on some silk black slacks and a net. I'm like Jamaicans wear them a lot too. A net wife beater and he out in the streets. So I was like, whoa, in a Camaro,
Yeah.
in an old
Yeah,
Camaro.
yeah, yeah.
But he was he was getting the head. He was getting the head. Um, he got caught that night with some other chick getting head in the bathroom. Apparently, the bathroom, anybody can go in the bathroom in the 70s. You tell. They thought we don't want everybody in the bathroom now. Well, shit, you wouldn't have been in the 70s then. 'Cause this damn show, you in the sex in the 70s. or having sex or something. This thing. If you look at Scarface, didn't he bust in the bathroom and get his sister out the bathroom?
Yeah, 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 dude. He does.
The
God, the
bathroom was
bathroom.
open sesame back then.
Uh,
Like, yo,
yeah,
man.
dude.
And back then, if I would have been at studio, as any of them studios, you would have saw me come out the bathroom. Hey, it was a Stone Cold Groove in there. This is crazy.
Stone Cold Groove, dude. Yo,
I don't
out
know.
of sight.
I don't know who had their mouth on me, but she was in there.
Dude, that's funny that you're saying all of this, dude, by the way, because you know the next song we're going to talk about is Head, which is basically that. It's basically finally fulfilling the promise described in the album's title that this is one of the least subtle songs on here. It's about the story of Prince meeting a virginal lady on her way to be married and instead charms her with his particular talent enough to entice her to return the favor and marry him. I mean, these lyrics are incredible. This is one of my favorites. It goes, you know you're good, girl. I think you like to go down. You wouldn't have stopped, but I came on your wedding gown. This is, straightforward, the sexual. This song is incredible. This is also something really cool is that this features Revolution member Lisa Coleman on backing vocals. She's the only other player besides Dr. Fink on this record, although they're both pictured on the album's inner sleeve along with other members of Pimp's live band. Future Revolution members drummer Bobby Z and guitarist Des Dickerson, bassist Andre Simon, who was Prince's childhood friend and whose family took Prince in after he left his father's house, had an acrimonious departure after this album's tour due to feeling marginalized, neglected, and fairly unrecognized for his musical contributions. Which leads me to talk about family. Like, how is your family adapted to your success?
Oh man, my family has no idea that I'm successful.
Okay, that's hilarious.
My family has been living carefree life for so long. It's like, if you ask if I called any of my children and asked them what I did, they were like,
Hilarious, dude.
he smelled
Hilarious.
my I know for a fact my 8-year old was asked, "What does his father do?" And she said he smells good. So he's into cologne. He sells cologne,
Yeah,
basically. And my family, and it's by design though. I have no bones with it because it's by design. I don't. My career and my family are really totally separated. Even though I talk about my family in my career,
yeah.
but once I'm off the clock, I'm like family dude.
You ain't a comedian anymore. You just Ali. Yeah,
I'm
right.
just Ali, man. Hey man. So y'all decided not to put that trash in there organized like that. I don't want my trash going up. Shoot. Like yeah, my kids. I'm like a real fan of theirs. So
Yeah,
they're the stars to me, and so I'm trying to be everything, and I'm trying to teach everything I can give you while I had the opportunity. So I put that hat totally down. And but my oldest is 25, and my oldest daughter is 25, and she's telling me he's been like this from the beginning. Like he's just my dad, and that's all I ever wanted to be. So
good,
I keep them totally separated from because
good.
I don't want superstar kids or or privileged kids. You have things, but I don't want you to be. I want you to be a kid and not in my life because I don't want my life to change how your life should be. You
Yeah,
know,
no, totally.
it's not normal how people they're celebrities, then their kids become that you in that life, and they never got an opportunity to be a kid. And I I wanted to be 10, so I want my kids, to be 10, be 8, not bottled up in what I got going on. Well, your
Yeah,
father is, man.
Yeah. No, I get it. No, I get it. That's admirable of you. Is just like that's you want to because so many people are like pushing their family even on like Instagram. They're like, I got a baby, and the baby's face is already on there, and like the baby, you didn't ask that kid.
Man,
There's yeah.
you don't find out that I have a new kid until the kid like 7. You're
Mhm.
like, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
the kid's already
Which,
graduating from something. You're like,
which
wait,
which one is that? Oh,
yeah.
that's a Shafi. I had it 7 years ago. Yeah,
You just
well,
lay in the
I
cut, dude. Lay in the cut until they accomplish some shit. Then you show everybody.
yeah, man. We didn't know that Jamie Foxx had a daughter until she showed up to the awards. She was 12.
Wow.
Remember that
Yeah, I
she
didn't even
showed
think.
up to
You're
the
right.
awards. He's like, Jamie Foxx got a daughter.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
like,
And
yeah.
then you got someone like fucking oh god, I can't think of his goddamn Nick Cannon who's got like 14 kids and he's taking pictures with all of them and
You know,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
DL. I don't know Dick Gregory's children.
Hmm.
They're not in the limelight. I couldn't tell you. I didn't know until I met DL. I didn't know his daughters and his son until we got close, and he doesn't forefront them. Didn't know his daughter's on the show with him now as a DJ, but she became a DJ. You don't know. I think that as comics, we give so much of ourselves that something has to be private for us. And I think it's your family. Because
Yeah,
I don't even really think you can become successful until you have one.
really. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm
You gotta
doing
get a
okay.
you gotta get a dog. You
I'm
gotta get
doing okay, dude. I got no
you
kids.
gotta get
I'm
a
doing
you
all
gotta
right.
get a no. You have a family though.
I do. Yes. Yeah. No, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. We talking about our family. We like just like this. I heard you earlier say my cousin works for such and such. There's people that have cousins in places that they don't even know that's their goddamn cousin. Because like
Oh yeah.
but one knows that that's their family. They're like, no, 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 I don't need him to know that. Not do anything. Yeah, but you have family, and that's
Yeah.
the nucleus of success. You become successful, and you share things with your family. Hey, you know what I did? I just think families is
It
important,
is. It is important. And that's funny that we're talking about this because the next song is Sister, which it might be my favorite song on the whole record. This song is basically it's hold on, like Peter, play 102. All right. This is perhaps the most extreme example of both the new wave punkiness of the record and the absolute intention of pushing the boundaries of societal acceptance in his 90-second tale of teenage incest with his adult sibling. That the song is about him imagining fucking his sister and how it would go down. Now, we're not going to ask you that. What I wanted to ask you, because this is a controversial fucking thing, what was your most controversial moment on stage?
man. This guy was taken up for this lady who was clearly wrong about the birthing process. And I was explaining how it would be easier for women to have children if they wasn't rushed through the process, and then in the rushing they putting them they putting them on their back
Yeah.
and giving them epidurals and all this other thing when they should squat and use gravity and move. And this lady says, "You don't know, you've never been pregnant." Um, Unfortunately, there is a pregnancy that men experience, the symptoms that men experience during the course of conceiving, children. But
Yeah.
85% of gynecologists are men. So are you saying that I don't know anything about pregnancy because I've never been pregnant? Or you saying I don't know anything about pregnancy because I have 8 children? Or you saying I don't? And I've been there for all of them. They live in my house, and they birthed. I've been through this birthing process. My sister had six, her and her husband. You know, you say what? Why? Okay, what's your reason for saying that I don't know shit about birthing?
Yeah.
And you still talking about the shit is 9 months when I know 42 weeks is 10 months, regardless of how you do the math. 42, that's why they track you by weeks.
Yeah.
I've been through the process of having children from C sections to all the rest of them having natural births and knowing that. So if you have 8 children, all of them have natural births besides one. And the one that did not have the natural birth, had an epidural, has all the allergies possible: nuts, eggs, fowl, dairy, boom, boom, boom. So then my sister has 6 children who she's had all natural births besides one, who she had a C-section, which they gave her epidural, and he has all the allergies in the world: nuts,
No shit.
eggs. So
No shit.
is it some? And then other than that, just take all that outside. Is it anything such as called fucking research? Say like you're interested in something and then you start doing research. It's like me saying you don't know shit about Prince because you're not black. And you like, but I went to Paisley Park and I
Yeah.
did the research and I like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you did all these things to give you knowledge about things, and I'm sitting there like, but you're not black.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can you play all the instruments? Then how can you tell me about Prince if you can't play?
Yeah.
Are you light skinned with very good hair? They're like, like, no, no. So don't tell me about Prince. You like, Ali, you're a fucking asshole. Because what you're saying doesn't make sense, you
Yeah.
know. Which that was it was ridiculous. So then this black guy tries to take up for, because it's a couple, it's a white couple and a black couple, they're together, and so
Yeah.
the black guy decides, because he's black and he's 6'4" and he's going to defend and take up for the his friends, his white friend's wife that's
Yeah.
clearly wrong as shit, but okay. And he didn't realize he hollowed something. I said, "So why are you talking?" This is at the Comedy Zone
Mhm.
In Charlotte, and everybody there, the staff and everybody, they remember this very vividly. When I said, oh, "Okay, since you got something to say, I'll be at the door when you leave."
Wow.
And I was at that door, and he tried to slide by me. I was like, "Oh no, sir. Let me explain to you, Mister 6'4". You crossed the line. You crossed the line, and you're going to get your ass whooped." So, like,
Fuck, dude.
I think, let me explain something to you, 6'4". I don't have no. I'm 5'7", 150. I'm 170 now, but I don't have no weight class, my boy. I get out, and I'm very skilled at this particular thing. Very skilled. So I fight any goddamn body. So it doesn't matter what you think. Oh, then it was all these apologies, and man, I was just,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You
It's
said
like,
it, motherfucker.
yeah, you said all that fly shit, and I hated that moment. I hated that moment, man. It was it just sucked that you don't. I don't know if you respect that comics take time to research shit before we say it. We don't just
Yeah.
bullshit out our ass. We read a lot. And it's one of the disheartening things is I hate the fact that they think that we're class clowns. Were you the class clown? I'm I don't know in my particular life. I probably know one comic that would profess to be a class clown that actually does stand up. But he doesn't even do it anymore. He actually sells insurance now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Most of the people that win like the awards are like, yeah, they're like they ain't doing shit. They ain't doing shit
Yeah,
with comedy no more.
class clown. Yeah, I was a class clown. You don't even. I saw him in some business slacks 2 months ago.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He works for Merrill Lynch.
Night slacks,
Uh
buddy.
No, it's you're right. It's audiences just have no idea and how much time we put into it. A lot of times, I like to keep my sets feeling like they're improvisational, but little do they know that 70 to 80% of it is all written, and it's just the way that I get into it is how it's different.
Mhm.
And people, it's they're they don't think it through, and especially when you talk about something that they feel that they know more about. That's I can't tell you how many times this probably wasn't the first time that's happened to you either, and probably not the last either.
Nah, they. You don't know anything about Gattaca. You ain't know anything about corn. Like,
Corn. I don't get, dude. All right. We gotta get you out of here. So we got one more song. I want to, but also like before we move on to this song, let's just say this: that Prince. This is how badass Prince is that most people would have a song about them fucking their sister, and people would be like turned off by it. And if anything, it added to the legend of what Prince is. I mean, I just this dude. I'm telling you, man. I'm the more I research this record, the more I'm a fan. And to end the record with "Party Up," um, the music was written and originally played slower by Prince's childhood friend Morris Day. Prince arranged and added his new lyrics to this, much to Morris's chagrin. Prince made it up to Morris by helping him create his band, The Time, and together with Morris, they essentially made the Time's first few albums. Do you listen to the Time? Are you a
yes,
fan of Morris Day and the Time?
I was a big Morris Day anytime fan. I'm just amazed that that's crazy. Do you realize that Prince is sitting here explaining that he stole something from Morris Day, and then he said, "Okay, I know I stole it, but I'm gonna help you make a band."
I'll give you the record contract. Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get you. Hey man, I know I stole your shit. Come on, man. But I'm gonna get you, man. You want a band? Like, you know how crazy that is. Is that somebody send your material and be like, hey, you want a special though? I'm gonna get you a Netflix special. Come on, man, cut that shit out, man. I'm gonna get you a Netflix special. I know I saw your favorite and your best joke. I mentioned your mom and everything. I thought I stole your joke so well that I didn't even say my mom. I said your mom's name. And now and now and now I gotta keep that. I told your mom too, because now I gotta keep that name. Like everybody knows this.
That's
But
so funny.
I'm gonna give you a special. Can't beat that. Come on,
He
come on, Josh.
it,
Come on, Josh,
dude,
man. Come on,
it's
man.
it's
I stole your
it's
shit. I stole your shit. I stole a song and I sang it on my own. I, I know I'm
but
on Bill. I know I'm on Billboard with your song, but I'm gonna get you a special. Man,
all
cut
right,
it out.
let me ask you if so like going back to before you really had anything, if some bigger comic was
They
like, I
did.
want this,
They
I
did.
want this bit, but if you give me this bit, I'll get you, like you said, I'll get you to that next level. Because basically that's what he did.
No,
Because
no,
Morris
no,
recognized the greatness that is Prince. He knew the potential.
no,
So
no. They've stolen my things and gave me nothing. No, they didn't enter. They was like, I'm taking this,
yeah,
and you're not gonna find out until you see it on the special months later.
yeah,
I'm gonna I'm gonna let you keep doing it. Then my special's gonna come out, and you're gonna keep doing it because you don't know that it's out. And then people gonna be like, hey man, that is such and such joke. Are you fucking crazy? I wrote this 19 years ago. No, 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 no. I just saw it on his special. But I thought Morris was his cousin.
He wrote it down. It was like, it was his childhood pal. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was kind of like the thing. He was like, "You give me this, and I'll get you a record contract." I think that was what I had read. Previous. Here's the funny thing: is that like with Morris Day, like I always I like I knew about him from Under the what is it Under the Moon or whatever the other movie after Purple Rain.
I'm the
And
cherry
then I
moon.
remember that, yeah, and then I remember Kevin Smith put him in like the Silent Bob and Jay movie, and that was, but I never really dug into his music until recently. And look, they're like family, and they're associated with one another. Who's your Morris Day? Who is your like your Kimosabi?
Marcus, probably Marcus D. Wiley. Um, yeah, Marcus. Yeah, Marcus D. Wiley.
How long have you
Yeah,
known him for?
20 years,
20 years.
20, 22, about 22 years.
Comedian.
Yeah, comedian. Clean,
Houston.
clean. Houston used to be the co-host on Yolanda Adams' morning show. He had this character, Reverend. No. What's his name on there? God dog it. It'll come to me. But yeah, he's on Who's on the Road with Me Now, and he's a headline in his own right. So he pretty solid guy.
Nice. All right. Well, big ups to him. Dude, this was great. I want to have you back on for sure. There's so many more questions I want to ask you. Um, Before we get into the final questions, promote away. Anything you want to promote? What do you have going on that you want to tell everybody about?
Oh man, just go to my website, alisiddiq.com, or go to Ali Siddiq comedy on YouTube. Watch the specials. Domino Effect start at 1, go all the way to 4, and then just hit me in the theaters on the tour. You can look up the website. Obviously, no one's coming to Des Moines, but just
They coming. You might not be full, but they coming. It'll be full, dude. What are you talking about, dude? It'll fucking be.
hey
It'll be
man,
great. It's gonna be rock and roll.
I'm gonna take my 60 people and go into the sun. Like Des Moines has great corn.
Great corn. Great corn, dude. Iowa's great. Iowa's great.
You don't know
Um,
anything about corn.
I don't know anything either, but I do know that you can put some fucking mayonnaise and some hot pepper flakes on it, and it's fucking delicious. The Mexican corn.
Hey,
Um,
Mexican street corn.
Let me listen. I ask everybody these questions. What's your favorite song on this record?
Um, we're gonna go with. Man, I hate to say sister, but it was definitely the jam on this record. I'm gonna say sister.
It jams, dude. Is there any songs on this record that you skip over?
Um, when you listen to Prince, you don't skip anything. Nothing. You don't skip nothing.
All right. Can you? This is a stupid question, but can you fuck to this record?
Man, if you can have sex to, have you ever made love in the club with a thug with the lights on and with your Uzi jeans and a fresh pair of Nikes on, you can probably have sex to Prince.
Yeah, in the bathroom. In the bathroom.
And
If you can
I
fuck
can
in the
have sex
bathroom.
I can have sex to Nirvana on
Yeah, it's
coke.
true.
So I'm good. I'm good.
All right. What would be your elevator pitch to get someone to listen to this record, Ali?
Hey, you like to have good sex? Listen to
Stupid,
this. Listen to this record.
dude.
No Viagra needed.
No Viagra needed. This is straight juice to the dick, dude. This record. I'm gonna say this, man. And without this record, this is the moment. This is not a happening moment from you with Prince. This is the moment he became Prince. Is this record? It's crazy how good this is, how ahead of the time this record is. This only adds to the greatness, and the crazy shit is that he hasn't even showed off how good of a guitarist he is yet on this. He
Not at
played every
all.
instrument, but you don't show that. And to everybody, if you haven't seen it, Why My Guitar Gently Weeps, watch him play it. It's the guitar solo in it is incredible. Ali, I can't thank you enough for coming on, buddy. Thank you so much, brother. This was so much fun.
Thank y'all for having me, man. Pleasure.
So we're done.
When he wrote when he painted his whole shit like he
Wait, what is it? Yeah.
yeah. Like,
Oh, I love that. I love Prince, dude. I'm telling you, man. Like, dude, go to if you've never been to Paisley Park, fucking go. Like, because I mean, he literally lived in this mecca of Princedom, which is just velour and studio, and he cared so much about the performance. And dude, like, he had this cheesecake brought in every day that people could eat, and it's just like he just is the most. And he played basketball. He's the most interesting cat out there, dude. It's Prince is it's a fucking loss, man. Him, that was a tough year, 2016. I think it was when he died. It was like
mhm.
him. We lost Bowie. We lost we've lost all these like great people. So, I'm just lucky that I got to fucking go see him play a few songs at the George Lopez show. Did you ever get to see him live, Ali?
Never got a chance to see it.
Go see everybody, dude. Don't waste your time, any man. I know it's like we're busy, we're working, but fucking go to the concerts that you want to go to, because those artists will go and they'll be done before you get a chance to see them. And so it's like, don't miss out. Like, I just went to see the Rolling Stones. I'm not the biggest fan, but it's like, dude, you got to see these legends. And someone like Prince, David Bowie, Tom Petty, Neil Diamond. I mean, let's go Nirvana, whatever the fuck it is. You never know when somebody's gonna go. So
For sure,
what
man.
a horrible way to end this, talking about death. All right, dude. Ali, I love you, buddy. Thank you so
Man,
much for
thank
coming
you,
on,
man. Love
man.
you back, mother. Please, hey,
All right.
thank y'all.